My attorney called me at my job and said, "Your ex just testified under oath that you tried to drown your daughter during your weekend visit." What is she talking about? He told me there was an emergency hearing and I had to come immediately. I rushed to the courthouse and saw my ex holding our 3-year-old daughter, surrounded by people handing her tissues. The moment she saw me, she screamed, "That's him! That's the man who tried to kill our baby." Every head turned and stared at me like I was some kind of monster. She gave the judge a medical report, showing water in our daughter's lungs from nearly drowning. If he believed her, I would lose my daughter forever. But something didn't feel right. The hospital was 40 miles from the lake. Why would I drive past 3 hospitals to go there? The judge believed her and approved the emergency order. My ex smiled as she walked past me and whispered, "You should have signed the divorce papers when I asked nicely." That night, I sat alone in my apartment watching videos of my daughter saying, "Daddy," again and again until my eyes burned. I kept thinking about that hospital 40 miles away, and I couldn't shake it. The next morning, my boss called me into his office. He shut the door behind him and avoided my eyes. "I'm sorry, but we can't have someone under investigation working with clients." Just like that, I was fired. Then my mom called crying, "How could you do this to your own child?" I saw the medical report. "I can't even look at you." I tried to explain that the hospital didn't make sense, but she hung up before I could finish. Everyone believed my ex. I had no job, no family, and no way to see my daughter, but I refused to let her win. I hired a lawyer and sat across from him with the report laid out on his desk. I was at work all morning. I have badge swipes that prove it. None of this adds up. He investigated and called me back, his voice sounding completely different. "You need to come in right now." I drove to his office and he slid the report across the desk. "This is time-stamped from that morning. You were still at work. You didn't even have your daughter yet. Someone else brought her to that hospital before you ever picked her up. My ex has a boyfriend she always said was nobody important. I looked into him and discovered he's a paramedic at that same hospital. I took this to my lawyer, and he subpoenaed the parking records. The boyfriend's car was there that morning, hours before I ever had custody. Then my lawyer leaned in and said, "There's more. She filed paperwork to move overseas. The same week she accused you." Everything clicked. She was planning to vanish with my daughter and make sure I never found them. My lawyer warned the boyfriend that lying under oath is a felony. When I walked into the courtroom, my ex was surrounded by friends praising how brave she was. She saw me and started fake crying, but the second they looked away, she smirked and mouthed, "She's mine now." Then she blew me a kiss. My lawyer stood up. The courtroom went silent, and I could hear my own heartbeat. My lawyer held up the report. "You testified that the drowning happened in the afternoon. So why is this report from that morning?" My ex laughed. "Actually, I laughed. They wrote it down wrong. Hospitals make mistakes all the time." She looked at me and shrugged like it was already over. My lawyer held up my badge records. "Your ex-husband was clocked in at work all morning. He wasn't even with your daughter when this report was created." The smile vanished from her face. My lawyer called the boyfriend to the stand. He walked up like he was heading to his own execution. I noticed a wedding ring on his finger. My lawyer raised the parking records. "Your car was at the hospital that morning, hours before the father had custody. Perjury is a felony." The boyfriend looked at my ex, begging her with his eyes to save him. She mouthed the word "don't," but he was already breaking. She told me it was the only way to get custody and leave the country. My ex slammed her hand on the table. "Shut up." My lawyer stepped closer. "How did the water get into the child's lungs?" The boyfriend was sobbing now. I held her under in the bathtub just until she started coughing. Her mother recorded it, telling her to cough louder. When she cried for her daddy, her mom told her she'd hold her under again if she didn't shut up. The room gasped. My ex jumped up so fast that her chair crashed to the floor. "You're ruining everything." 2 guards rushed toward her and she shoved one backward. The judge stood. "You are in contempt of court, and I am referring you for criminal charges." The rage drained from her face, and suddenly, she looked like a trapped animal. "Wait, I'm the victim. I'm the mother." The guards dragged her toward the door, and she twisted around and locked eyes with me. This isn't how this was supposed to go. I got full custody that day.